Hi, and welcome into Rolla, Missouri, where your Lincoln College Lynx getting to take action on the home floor of Missouri Science and Technology University. Here in the Gibson Arena, I'm Nick Jackson, bringing it to you live right here, as always. Again, hopefully the Lady Lynx are still, I believe, their game should be wrapping up real soon here, so hopefully we'll get a few more coming on after that ball game is over. However, though, Lynx did pick up the win last time out. Again, that was last night, taking on Missouri Valley, part of this kind of rolling through Missouri here. We'll actually come back to play College of the Ozarks later, or actually probably next year. I think it's later in next semester. But again, however, the Missouri Valley game, it was a toss-up. Boy, was it a good one. Probably one of the best games I'd have to say I've ever called in my career here at Lincoln College, not just because of, it was a 1-point game and the Lynx came out on top, but just everything that was involved from off the court to on the court. As the Lynx did improve to 7-6, they won that game against Missouri Valley 73-72 in that ball game, and Trayvon Tyler led the way with 22 points. Only had 5 rebounds, but had 9 assists in that ball game, and that's the Trayvon Tyler we're used to seeing. When he gets others going, this Lynx team is tough to stop, especially now that they have a few key shooters on the perimeter as well. Here we got about 4 minutes to go in that before we get set to tip off here in this one. But let's talk about that Missouri Valley game just a quick tad. Right before we even got to halftime, the Lynx started off on a 12-0, or the Lynx were against a 12-0 run. It was really actually kind of already a bad start for this Lynx squad in this one, as they just came off the bus real shaky. Didn't seem like they had anything going, but they did battle back. It was 17-7 at one point, but then the Lynx came all the way back and got it to 35-32 at halftime. So they came storming all the way back. However, though, right before we get to halftime, some of our players are walking to the locker room, and some of the, you know how it is, the fans in the stands want to get a little piece of the action. They had some words with our boys. Nothing got interfered with, no pushing, no shoving. Again, credit to Missouri Valley for doing a good job on their part of it, and they kept everything close and under control. However, though, that's not something you want to see, especially when you're an opposing team like that, going on the road like that and staying the night. However, though, coming back out of halftime, we were doing really well. Then we had I believe it was a jump ball between J.J. Turner and one of their players that ended up kind of escalating the feud a little bit more. You know how it goes when they're trying to rip the ball away from each other. Competitive edge in that one. Nothing was said, nothing was thrown, no nothing. Everything's good, life moves on. And then all of a sudden, about 11 minutes to go in the second half, we had a timeout taken, and that's when things really got heated up as the benches cleared in that one, and it was almost an all-out free-for-all. Again, like I said, no punches were thrown. That's good news for the Lynx, but the entire bench was off the floor trying to protect their teammates, and luckily with the timeout being taken, none of them got ejected because they were allowed to be on the floor. However, though, if they were not in a timeout, that's probably we'll lose half of our team right then and there. Good thing we did not. The Lynx prevailed in that ball game, 73-72 on a game winner by J.J. Turner, who hit a 3 from the right side corner with about 17 seconds left in the ball game, and you're going, really, J.J. Turner? Yes, J.J. Turner hit the 3 from the corner. He wears number 3. He got 3 points for us, and it led us to a 1-point victory thanks to that. Then we get changed. We're getting ready to get back on the bus. I come walking outside, and sure enough, man, here we go again. The Missouri Valley chirping at us while we're trying to get on the bus. And again, none of the Lynx fault. We were just trying to get on the bus, go get something to eat, get back to the hotel. However, they're just not going to let that roll over. And things escalated from there. Once again, nothing was thrown, just words exchanged. But it was kind of iffy. Fights all around in the ball game the other day, so hopefully we have a much cleaner game here in this one as we're getting about a minute or so away, but the Lynx really got to prevail. This time we take on Missouri S&T, Science and Technology. They are the minors here in this one, as, again, they come in at 2-5 on the season. They won the first 2 games of the season, but then have dropped 5 straight here. So they're coming off a loss to Drury University, 90-81 on the home floor. So these guys are looking to shake their skid here, as the Lynx are trying to keep theirs going. in this one, coming off a tough win. We'll have more with those games and the starting lineups when we come back. We're going to head to break. We're going to have the national anthem, and then they will have the starting lineups. So, again, don't go anywhere. More Lincoln College basketball coming your way next, right here on 89X.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use, like, anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Gibson Arena here in Rolla, Missouri. Almost wanted to put a rally on that one here in this one. But, again, we got a good matchup coming to you live right here as, again, we're going to have the starting lineups real quick here. You already know who's starting for Coach Lepp, but I'll tell you anyway. As nothing has changed, so L.J. Johnson will be back in action here along with Montez Crumble, followed by Trayvon Tyler, Darnell Latham Jr., and Julian Powell getting the start here today for this Lynx squad. However, for Missouri S&T, it's going to be C.J. Hedgepeth, along with Jordan Newt, Irvin Cyrilich, along with Romaine Lucer, and Jawan Miller will get the start here for Missouri S&T. And again, now, while I have a chance to talk to you a little bit, this Missouri S&T team is NCAA Division II. So much different from NAIA Division I or Division II. These guys are much bigger, much more physical, much bigger arena as well here in this one. As look for these guys to come out and try to set the tone here in this one, not only because they're on their home floor, but just because they've also lost 5 straight. Anybody that knows who's lost 5 straight coming into a ball game, you know they're trying to get back on the winning ways. So the Lynx are going to have to be careful as they know that they're going to have a fight here in this one. Most of the time you see games like this and you're thinking it's an expedition type of game. You know, the other team's kind of taking it a little easy. They're resting maybe some of their starters. No, not the case here tonight, as the Miners looking for an all-out victory to try to get back on their winning ways. However, the Lynx, they're going to have to go through the Lynx to do it in this one, and we'll see how that fares here for the Miners. However, they're taking a quick look, though, as Trayvon Tyler led the way last night with 22 points, and I mentioned he had 9 assists to go along with that, followed by L.J. Johnson. Johnson had 20 points in the 1-point victory last night, along with J.J. Turner. Yes, I know he only had 8 points, but out of those 8, he had 3 in the last 17 seconds to send us up by 1, so no bigger 3 points than that right there. However, though, as the team went, it seemed like the team probably should have lost that game. And I know you're sitting there going, well, why would you say that, Nick? Why would you want them to think they lost? Well, here's the thing. We shot 45% from the floor, 40% from the 3, and 44% from the free throw line. So with that being said, the Lynx are going to have to do a better job on the line, see if they can pull out a victory. And it didn't hurt them in the ball game yesterday, as the Miners do win the tip-off here, and they will have the first possession of the ball game. As real quick here, Loose Air knocks down a jumper right there and gets things started for the Miners as it's 2-0. Now the Lynx coming in transition, bringing up the floor for their first possession of the ball game. Tyler with it now. Tyler gets a screen from Powell. He's standing at the top of the key. Over to Latham. Latham on the right wing. He takes a jumper, no good. Off the front of the rim and out. Ball's tipped by Crumble, but still into the hands of Newt. Newt over to Saralich in the corner, no good. He wanted the three, didn't get it. Trayvon Tyler pulls down the rebound, out to Johnson. Johnson trying to drive into the rack, puts one up off the glass and gets it to go. Flexes his muscles early here as he's got the first points of the board for the Lynx. 2-2 now is our score. Here come the Miners back the other way as Miller takes the three from the left wing and buries it home. This is a very quick Miners team. They like to run and gun in transition, but they're also a young team as well, so look for them to make some mistakes throughout this ball game. 5-2 is the score. Trayvon Tyler takes the mid-range jumper off the baseline and gets it to go. So Trayvon Tyler on the board early here in this one. As Tyler, we already know, is somebody who's kind of struggled early in the season, but anytime you kind of start talking to him and chirping at him, he's going to be on fire right there as Newt yet again buries his first three of the ball game. So the Miners coming out swinging here in this one. 2 threes already in this one. They've made every shot from the floor, 3 for 3, as Tyler gives it to Powell, and Powell takes the jumper from the free throw line. So exchanging baskets here early in this ball game. 8-6 now with 18 minutes left to play in the half. Here comes Miller. He's swinging it around over to Newt. Newt give and go with Lucer as he gets his miss. It was poked away, gets it right back, puts up a shot, can't get that one to go as Sarlogic is there for the offensive rebound. Now Newt down low yet again to Lucer, and he's going to be fouled in the act of shooting, so he will go to the line for 2 opportunities. And the foul is going to go on Montez Crumble. That'll be his first, team's first. As Lucer hits his first free throw, that makes it now 9-6 in favor of the Miners, as Lucer 66% from the free throw line this season. So he will miss a few, as he does right there, 1 of 2 from the line. And normally I'd say a broadcaster's curse, but in this case, it kind of helps us out. As Johnson now over to Latham Jr. in the corner. Jr. now trying to drive baseline, up and under move, didn't get it to go. Johnson with an offensive rebound, almost traveled with it, kicks it out to Tyler. Tyler on the left side corner, puts up a 3, and you know it. Trayvon Tyler already on fire here in this one. He's got 7 of the 9 here for the Lynx. And it's good to see Trayvon getting started here early. Instead of waiting for him, here comes the double team down low as Miller now trying to drive in, kicks it out to Salargic in the corner, but offensive rebound by Newt here for the Miners. And once again, they're going to set up the offense. They work real quickly here in the shot clock. 24 seconds. Out to the top of the key now for Lucer. He drives in, right side lane, puts it off the glass, can't get it to go. Almost got his own miss, but Crumble tips it out of his hands and into Latham Jr. So here we come now back the other way. Lynx tied it at 9. 16 and a half minutes left to play. Tyler with it on the left wing. Trying to drive in, left side lane, takes a step. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebounded by the Miners. Here they come now back down the other way. Miller has it. He's on the left wing. He's guarded by Tyler. Tyler already given him a chirping as here comes a double team, and we're going to have a traveling violation right there on Salargic as he took 1 too many steps, kind of gave a little pressure coming from the double team. 9-9's our score. Here comes the Lynx back down the other way. Tyler to Crumble at the top of the key, over to Johnson on the left wing. Johnson has nowhere to go with it, so he'll back up and set up the offense with 15 on the shot clock. He's guarded by Hedgepit as he now drives in left side lane. He burns his man, goes right around him, and lays it up and in for an easy 2. And Coach Lev just said right there, looked at his bench and said, that's going to be there all night, boys, and we'll see if they can continue to find those gaps. As Hedgepit now from the top of the key. No For a long three there, rebounded by the Lynx. Here comes Latham Jr. now back in transition. He's going to stop. Pass it to Johnson. Johnson from way downtown, and you already know L.J. Johnson from the parking lot knocks down the three, and it's 14-9 now in favor of the Lynx. And really, L.J. Johnson and Tyler really getting the scoring going early here for the Lynx. Normally it's one or the other. This time right now it's both of them. As Johnson now coming back the other way, kicks it back out to Tyler, and they're going to set up the offense. Again, this is a must-win for the Lynx. They want to make a statement here in their first year of the NAIA by playing an NCAA Division II. As some good ball movement here by the Lynx. Latham to Johnson, back out to Tyler for three, and Tyler once again buries a three from the corner. 17-9 now in favor. Here come the Miners in transition, and Montez Crumble steps in and takes a charge as Hedgebit trying to go quickly here in this one, and already they want to talk things over here in this one. The Miners are going to take a timeout as they do say the foul. They put the foul on Crumble, or on Hedgebit, who took the charge here in this one. 17-9, though, is our score. Trayvon Tyler has 10 already here in the first 5 minutes of this ball game, along with L.J. Johnson. He's got the other 5, and Julian Powell's got the next 2 to go along with it. And that's the type of offense that we're seeing here from this Lynx team. If L.J. Johnson could knock down him and L.J. Johnson and Trayvon Tyler, if they can play like this every single game, I know you're not expecting both of them to play like this all the time, but if they could, just think of how much easier it would be on the inside presence for necessarily Julian Powell, maybe even Tyrone Wright, maybe even Roy Nesbitt as well. This is a great start to this Lynx team, who we have not seen have a good start in recent ball games. We saw in the Missouri Valley game they were down 13-0 before they even got on the scoreboard in that ball game by a three from, I think, Trayvon Tyler. However, in the following game, Indiana University Northwest, also in that ball game, were down 10-0 before the Lynx got on the scoreboard. And both games were 1 point. One was a victory, one was a loss. So you know the Lynx know how to come back. It's just a matter of if they can, and they need good starts, and I think they got a good start right here, and it starts with the 2 leaders on the floor, and number 2 in Trayvon Tyler, and number 0, L.J. Johnson. As they throw it in, Johnson tips it off, as it's going to be poked out of bounds by Hedgepath. Once again, Johnson going to set the inbound. 15 minutes on the game clock. 17-9 is our score. Good start here by the Lynx. Still the same starters as they throw it into Powell. And some full court press here by the Miners. Then they will back off. 17-9, under 15 minutes to play. Latham Jr. now with it. He wants a screen from Tyler. He gets one at the top of the key. As Latham still trying to drive in. Left side lane, kicks it back out. Now to Tyler. Tyler wide open. To Crumble. Crumble in the corner for 3. No short. Ball's tipped by Johnson and into the hands of Lucer. He's trying to come back the other way, but Crumble steals it away as Lucer wasn't even paying attention. Didn't see him coming from behind. Tyler now has it. As here come the Lynx with 14.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Still all the starters out there for Coach Lepp's squad. Tyler trying to bounce past one to Powell, but Powell was not there. Stolen away by Hedgebit, and he'll just lay it up and in for the easy 2. Johnson lets him have it, as here comes that full court press yet again by the Miners. 17-11 now as Tyler trying to get up the floor. As he throws a lob to Powell, and Powell slams it home. A little alley-oop slam-a-jam, and I believe now we have a technical foul as Julian Powell. We're going to have actually taunting on Trayvon Tyler. Trayvon Tyler trying to explain himself. There wasn't much there as he threw the lob to Julian Powell, and the official, I thought it was going to be a technical foul for Powell hanging on the rim, if anything. It wasn't much, but it ended up being taunting on Trayvon Tyler. I'm honestly not surprised by that. But at the same time, there wasn't much there, and he came over to Coach Lepp and said, hey, all I did was throw the lob to Powell and then said, let's go. I didn't really do much. I didn't say anything to anybody. But, that's for the officials to decide, and if they feel like that was directed towards somebody, they're going to make that call. And Tyler still kind of having some words with the officials here in this one. And again, Tyler's going to have to be careful, as Newt didn't shoot the technical free throws, made 1 of 2 from the line. 19-12 is our score. As here come the Miners once again, they'll have the basketball. Miners trying to swing it around. They have it at the top of the key here in this one. As Hedgepath takes a jumper, no good, gets his own miss though, put back, still can't get it to go as J.J. Turner pulls down the board. He checked in to the ball game for L.J. Johnson and Julian Powell as Roy Nesbitt came in for Powell. Crumble now, bounce passes one to Turner. Turner at the top of the key looking left as he's trying to find Latham Jr., but stolen away by Hedgebit. Hedgebit going coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in. 19-14 now as here come the Miners back the other way on their little run of their own. And the Miners 2-5 on this season as Latham Jr. feeds Nesbitt down low. Look for Nesbitt to kind of give him the move. He does. He goes to the left side lane. Puts it off the glass. A little too strong there by Nesbitt. As it was tipped out of bounds, it'll stay with the Lynx. They will have a fresh 30 as they inbound underneath their own basket. We'll have another substitution here for the Miners as Yamir Muhammad checked in. As Latham Jr. now set to throw it into Nesbitt. Nesbitt to Tyler. Tyler catches shoot from the wing. He's really feeling it, and you know it. He buries home another 3 in the ball game. Tyler's got 13 of the 22 here for the Lynx in this one. Miners trying to work quickly back the other way as it will be Miller. Miller trying to feed Fairless down low as he trips, but they're going to have a foul going against J.J. Turner. And they are going to call tripping, so that's going to be his first and team's third here in the first half. As Freeman will check in for the Lynx. He'll come in and get Montez Crumble. Miners set to inbound underneath their own basket as they throw it in to Miller. Miller gets a screen, goes right into the rack. I believe he passed it out. Coach Lepp's kind of in my way here. Hedgebit now over to Miller. Miller takes the jumper, no good. Nesbitt pulls down a big board for the Lynx, and the Miners come up empty on a couple possessions. 22-14 now. 12.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Tyler gets a screen, goes to the right side of it, takes a step back 3, still trying to feel himself yet again, and Tyler once more from behind the arc. Tyler's got 16 in the ball game already, and we're not even at the halfway point. I don't know what got into Trayvon Tyler this morning, but he is on fire. Doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon. As here come the Miners. He's got a steal going back the other way. Tyler stealing it away. He's got Freeman running the floor with him as he kicks it out to Latham Jr. Jr. wanted to take the shot. He didn't. He hesitated. Now Latham's going to drive in, kicks it back out to Tyler. Tyler from the right corner, and one more time yet again, Trayvon Tyler from beyond the arc. He's got about 4 or 5 threes here in the ball game, and we have a media timeout here on the floor yet again, though. But let's go back to Trayvon Tyler as he is just on fire right now. Trayvon Tyler is a senior out of Rockford, Illinois, here for this Lynx squad. He went to Auburn High School. Actually, he's a junior. Stands 6'1", weighs 180 pounds. He's a guard, and he's really showing it here today. And I have to say, I've called every game Trayvon Tyler has played in a Lynx uniform. And I've watched this kid go for 30. I've watched this kid go for 32. Thank you. I've watched this kid go for almost 40. I've seen him play every minute of almost every game one season, and yet this kid still continues to impress me. He now has 19 with 11:40 left to go in this first half. Trayvon Tyler has never done anything like that before in his Lynx career, and he is just something else right now. He is 7 for 8, 5 for 5 from beyond the arc. Right now he's got 19 points to lead the way here for the Lynx. And even L.J. Johnson as well, not on the floor right now, but he's 2 for 2, along with Julian Powell, who's 2 for 2 as well. And the Lynx, I mean, we talk about how the Lynx only shot 40% from the three-point line in last night's ball game and barely came out with the victory. Tonight, right now, we're shooting 75% from beyond the arc. 6 for 8 right now is this Lynx team. You talk about living and dying by the 3 ball right here, as they're living by it right now. Muhammad trying to drive in. That one's stolen away by the Lynx. Is outlet now to Latham Jr. He's driving in, trying to find Tyler in the corner, but might have had a one-on-one fast break. Probably could have took his chances at the rim. Instead, it's stolen away by the Miners. In transition is Hedgepeth. He takes a three, no good. Rebounded by Latham Jr., and Coach Lepp wants to slow the pace down. So Freeman now going to run the point here. Look for Tyler to be in the corner as he's got the hot hand. And now we have a foul going against the Miners, as it's going to be on Muhammad. Yamir Muhammad. That's his first, team's second here in this one, as the Lynx lead 28-14 here with still 11 minutes left to play in this first half. Scoring the basketball really well here is Lincoln. Probably by far the best we've seen all season long. So inbound it to Freeman. Freeman and the Lynx have the basketball. Freeman now trying to drive into the lane, puts up a floater through contact and gets it to go. The friendly roll and a nice touch by DeAndre Freeman, the freshman out of Morgan Park. Here they come now back the other way. The Miners are in a bounce pass there by the Miners, and it's right through the legs of Ondrick, and it's going back the opposite direction. Full court press now by the Miners, as they're going to have to get it around half court rather quickly here. Still about 3 seconds, but Freeman will break the press. 30-14 now. Lynx leading by 16. Freeman picks up his dribble to Turner. Turner from the top of the key for three. No. He hit the game winner in the ball game last night with about 17 or so seconds left to go. As Muhammad now trying to drive in. Good defense there by Latham Jr., who's really moving his feet well in this one. Newt now with it at the top of the key, swinging around to Hedgepeth. Down low, now to Ondrick. He up and under move. It was batted out of bounds. It'll stay with the Miners. Here is maybe Roy Nesbitt might have got a piece of that. The Miners, though, however, set to inbound underneath their own basket as they throw it into Hedgepeth. A little backdoor cut there. The Lynx like to run, and it works out to perfection. The Lynx trying to run back in transition. Freeman out to Latham Jr. He's going to catch and shoot from the corner, and he buries home the three. So the Lynx have the three ball working here in this one, 33-16, as Muhammad tried to go coast to coast, but there's going to be a foul on the floor, but Turner was there for the denial. Montez Crummell comes back to the scores table, along with Julian Powell. Also have some subs for the Miners, as Ondrick and Fairless check out of the ball game. Can't quite see who. Bushman came in for one of them, and I believe... Can't see who the other one is. The Miners now, however, though, I believe it was Solargic, the starter for the Miners. As Muhammad now over to Newt. Newt from downtown, no. Rebounded by Turner. Turner's going to throw a baseball pass down the court to Tyler, and Tyler catches it. Kind of robbed the home run right there, as you would say. As Tyler goes left side lane, he draws contact, cannot get the basket to go, but draws the foul, as some of these season ticket holders are lifelong fans of Missouri S&T. Not too pleased with that call right there. And Tyler's first free throw, no good. And really, I'd have to say that's probably Tyler's kryptonite, as he's like one of those players that you see will shoot it from anywhere, confident from anywhere. But when it comes to the free throw line, you can just see the second thoughts rolling through his head as the second one drops for him right there. 34-16 now, 9.5 minutes left to play. Here come the Miners back the other way. And the Miners, so far, they love to kind of run the shot clock. Not all the way down. They love to kind of get it and go here. As Miller to Soralgic. Back to Miller. Miller bounce passes one down low to Slargic, who's double team, kicks it back out to Muhammad. Over to Hedgepeth. Hedgepeth on the left wing. Across the court pass now to Miller. Miller going to take one step in, takes the mid-range jumper, and knocks it down as the shot clock expires. As Turner is trying to go through a full court pass. After the press by the Miners, it was stolen away and laid up and in by Slargic. So now the Lynx going to slow the pace down yet again, 34-20, as they lead an NCAA Division II team here on their home floor. Turner feeds Powell down low, kicks it out to Crumble. Crumble from the left wing from downtown, and you know it yet again. This Lynx team is on fire from behind the arc. It seems like they cannot miss right now. 37-20 now, 8.5 to play. Miners trying to answer. Bounce pass there from Newt. Stolen away, though, by Crumble. Just trying to save it from going out of bounds. He does, but finds Newt. Newt takes the long three-pointer from the top of the key, and they left him wide open. And you leave Newt open like that, he's not going to miss. As give and go with Turner and Powell. He can't hit his first. Powell gets his second rebound, and he'll lay it up and in this time. So Powell's got 4 here for the Lynx. 39-23 as we come back down the other way. Hedgepit down low now to Bushman. He's working on Powell. Turnaround right-hand hook, just a tad too strong off the back iron and out. Powell pulls down the rebound, and here come the Lynx back the other way slowly. Tyler running the point, 7.5 to play. Tyler on the right wing, kicks it to the top of the key, and Turner swinging it to the left side now for Crumble. Crumble backs it up to the top of the key now for Powell. Powell over to Tyler. Tyler bounce passes one down low to Turner, who had a jumper open. Instead, bounce passes down low to Powell, and he had an easy layup as Bushman, the only thing he could do is foul him hard, and that's exactly what he did right there. So that'll send Powell to the line. And yet again, we're going to have another media timeout taken right here as these guys come walking back to the bench. All smiles here in this one, but again, got to stay focused here in this one. You do not want to let a good team like the Miners come back and hang around in this ball game. 39-23 as we have just over 7 minutes left to play here in the first half. Again, so far so good. Trayvon Tyler has 20 points right now for this Lynx team, and we know he's usually capable of having 25. He averages around 18, 19 points per contest. However, though, whole different level here in this one, as just by reading the lips of Coach Lepp right here, he just said to his team, you only got to play for 27 more minutes. You got to just keep playing hard. 27 more minutes to go in this ball game, and that's one way to look at it, Coach Lepp. They have your back. Hopefully he's got theirs here in this one, as it's 39-23 now. Again, so far right now, the Lynx doing a pretty good job in the turnover, not turning the ball over too much. Well, really, neither team's not turning the ball over. Only 6 turnovers so far in the ball game, 2 by your Lynx and 4 by the Miners. Here in this one, that's coming off some of the steals there by Trayvon Tyler and Montez Crumble. He's got 2, both teams with 2 steals apiece. But right now, 80% from beyond the arc is just unbelievable for any team right now. And you don't usually see that happen unless, they only took about 3 to 4 3-pointers in the entire half. I mean, the Lynx are about to cash out 10, maybe in this first half. We already hit 6 of them so far. Actually 7 if you count the one Trayvon Tyler hit. As Powell's 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 41-23. Now as the Miners coming back the other way. 7 minutes left to play in this first half. It's been all Lincoln here in Rolla, Missouri. That one's stolen away by Latham Jr. He's got a one-on-one fast break opportunity. Instead gives it up to Crumble, but throws it over his head, and I believe that one was tipped. No, they do. They said it. They say it did not tip it. I thought it was tipped. It looked tipped. But either way, they say it is going to be Miners basketball. Interesting call right there. Went right over the head of Montez Crumble. As now the Miners and Miller out to Newt. Newt from downtown. No, this time he cannot hit. But Bushman with an offensive rebound, but denied though by Turner. Outlet now to Crumble, and Crumble bobbles it almost with a double dribble there. Instead, he loses it and into the hands of the Miners as they come back the other way. Gertie with it as that Solarczyk was blocked by Turner yet again. Turner blocks Solarczyk beyond the 3-point line as both teams working rather quickly here in this one. Tyler now going to bring it back up the floor. 41-23, 6.5 minutes to play. And I don't think anybody's seen this before. An NAIA Division II school has the NCAA Division II team on the ropes as Latham Jr. buries a mid-range jumper from the baseline right there. And it's a 20-point lead for Lincoln. 43-23, 6 minutes left to play in this first half as they find Gertie, and he knocks down the three from the left wing. And that's kind of the spark for the Miners as that gets them back to within 17. Latham Jr. now going to run the point here for the Lynx. And this is a full-on, like you would see in Division I. We have a replay monitors in cases. Latham Jr. takes a step back jumper, and he wants to be a part of the action as well, as now he's got 7 here in the ball game. Miller now coming back down the other way on the left wing to the top of the key in Newt. Swinging around to Gertie. Down low now to Solarkic. Back to the top of the key in Miller. To Newt now on the left wing. Newt trying to drive in. He does. Kicks it out to Miller, who's standing on the right wing. Now he drives in right side lane back out to Gertie. Gertie now takes one step to his right. Takes a jumper. No good. Rebounded though by the Lynx and J.J. Turner. Lynx going to slowly just push the pace. Latham comes back down the other way, takes a 3 from the right wing and buries that one home. So the last 3 possessions have been all Latham Jr. here in this one as he wants a part of it. He's got 10 here in the first half. Along with Trayvon Tyler's got 20. And Newt throws up a fader. No. Offensive rebound, though, by Solarkic. He takes it back, gives it to Newt. Newt, this time from mid-range, buries that one. And it's back to a 20-point deficit here for the Miners. 48-28, 4.5 minutes to play. This is by far the most points the Lynx have scored in any half so far this season. I believe the highest has been 45, as they now have hit 48 with still 4.5 minutes to play. See feed Turner. Turner from beyond the arc at the top of the key. No good. Newt pulls down the rebound. Outlet now to Solarkic, who drives in, is denied, though, by Turner, who tried to draw contact. If he just went up with it, he probably would have made it. Instead, he tried to go for contact, and Turner denied him right there. Lynx coming back down the other way. Turner to Powell. Powell takes the baseline jumper. No good. Into the hands of the Miners. Here they come now back down the other way, trailing by 20. 48-28, 4 minutes to play. As Gertie now catches it down low to Solarkic. Back over to Newt. Newt now trying to drive in. Lane puts up an up and under floater. No good. Bushman's there. Turnaround right hook. No good as well. As Anthony Bogan and L.J. Johnson go back to the scorer's table to check in. Tyler now bringing it up the floor in transition. 3.5 to play. Tyler on the wing. Look for him to create his own shot. He does. Drives in. Kicks it out to Latham Jr., who faked his shot. He's now guarded by Miller. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Takes a step back 3. And yet again, Latham Jr. now wants a piece of the action as he's got 13 on the night. And we still have another half to play, ladies and gentlemen. It's 51-28 here in the Gibson Arena as Miller drives in, takes a jumper just inside the free throw line, and he knocks it down. So this Miners team, interesting to see how they're down by 21. It seems like if they have an open shot, they seem to knock it down. But anything contested or double teamed, it's almost like they get a little rattled, and they speed them up per se. As Tyler's now double team trapped in the corner, and he's going to call a timeout, as it's going to be a 30-second timeout taken by Trayvon Tyler. An interesting word there, but again, that's to save the possession there. Smart play by Trayvon Tyler to keep the possession alive here for the Lynx, as they will set it back. They'll have 13 on the shot clock. Still 2:46 left to play in this first half. 51-30 as your Lynx lead the way, and really what a shooting night here for the Lynx in this one. It almost seems like they have not missed from down the floor. We're about to find out. Thank you. As we're getting updated stats here in this one, I feel honored here in this one. Nowhere else have I ever gone in 4 years have I ever had stats being given to me at each timeout. So I really do appreciate it here from Missouri S&T, as the Lynx shooting 67% from the field. They are 19 for 28 right now. Now, credit Missouri S&T. I mean, they're not even playing that bad. They have 30 points on the board. They're 12 for 31, shooting 38%. It's not like the the Miners are playing terrible, but the Lynx just playing on a whole different level right now. And this is the Lynx team that we're used to seeing. They're also shooting 71% from the beyond the arc as well here in this one. And anybody want to take a guess at how many they have? Because they're in double figures beyond the arc. They're 10 for 14 beyond the arc here in this one. Usually the Lynx are about 10 to 12 threes per game. Right now we're at 10 in the half. This half isn't even over. So this could get interesting down the stretch. Hopefully they do not cool off going into halftime, as L.J. Johnson and LeAnthony Bogan checked in. So it is Tyler, Powell, Crumble, LeAnthony Bogan, and Johnson, as that one's stolen away by Hedgebit. He gets his own miss. He can't get that one to go. Tipped back in by Slargic. No. Lucere was there, and he can't hit either. 0 for 3 go the Miners on one single possession, as here come the Lynx now back down the other way. Tyler bounce passes one to Bogan's feet. Had to corral it there a little bit. He does. Back to Johnson on the right wing. Johnson, guarded by Hedgebit, takes a step back. Jumper, no. Just a bit long, and rebounded by Lucere. Here they come now back the other way. The Miners will. They trail by 21. Miller trying to drive in, takes a jumper from the free throw line and knocks that one down with a hand in his face. So 51-32 now. We're under 2 minutes to play. Here comes Tyler now back up the floor. He's got 20 here so far for the Lynx, along with Darnell Latham Jr.'s got 13. Tyler gets a screen, goes to the right side, drives in right side lane, puts it up off the glass and can't get it to go. Wanted a foul, doesn't get one. Here he comes now back the other way. Hedgebit over to Gertie in the corner for three, and he knocks it down. And that's exactly how the Miners are going to get back into this ball game. One simple possession at a time and taking a lot of threes. 51-35 now. Minute 20 left to play in this first half. Crumble trying to drive in, right side lane, picks up his dribble, feeds Powell. It was tipped away, tipped out of bounds by Johnson, and now the Miners starting to get a little of some momentum here in this one, as the Lynx held them for the first 17 minutes. I would probably say even maybe 18 minutes, if that. Just the Lynx were playing their own game, and they took the Miners right out of it, but the Miners having a little of momentum shifter here in this one. As right now, Trayvon Tyler, he's got 20 so far here on the night, as we have another timeout taken. I believe this one's going to be another media timeout, so I guess we skipped the under 8 media timeout, so that's why we're going to take the under 2 timeout here in this one. Gotta love it. It's okay though, they equal out, as they always do. But again, this Lynx team, the last couple possessions here for Missouri S&T, they haven't really had anything much going, but what they're really kind of banking on is the steals and the turnovers. They have 5 steals so far, and I believe they've capitalized off of a few of them, and that's really one thing that they're beating us in, is the points off turnovers. Missouri S&T has 9 points off turnovers here so far, only to the Lynx 7. So not terrible there. Also on the fast break, they have 9 fast break points as well. That's kind of been Missouri S&T's game here in this one. They're struggling offensively right now, but they're still running in transition. They're a very good run and gun type of team here, and if you kind of let them play their element, that's how they're going to get back in this ballgame. And you saw that last couple possessions, the Lynx were kind of careless with the basketball, kind of loosey-goosey with it. And then all of a sudden, you saw the fast break coming back the other way, and they found Gertie in the corner for 3 who was left wide open. So that's going to be how the Miners get back in this ballgame, on the defensive breakdowns by this Lynx team not getting back in transition. However, though, we know this Lynx team is very good at that, so it's going to be a tough test here for the Miners. 51-35, minute 14 left to play in the first half. Miners with the basketball. Lynx have the lead, as Hedgebit now looking as he bounce passes one down low to Lucere. Lucere double team as Powell's there with the steal and ends up on the floor. Ball still loose on the floor as Lesargic ends up with Lucere's hands. Gerke, as now that one's a 3 from the top of the key, no good there by Gertie, as Johnson pulls down the board. And now we have a foul, a blocking foul going. They call a blocking foul on. Now we have on L.J. Johnson, and now we have a technical foul yet again. On L.J. Johnson, picked up a technical foul here. I didn't catch what the technical foul was for. We're going to find out in a second. Maybe taunting or having a word with the officials or of some sort, as Gerke is going to take the free throws. He knocks down both of them right there in this one. And like I said, that's exactly how this Missouri S&T team is going to get back in this ball game, is if the Lynx got to stay cool, calm, and collected. In the last couple possessions, we have not a little careless, trying to speed us up a little bit, and it has not worked out for the Lynx, as it's 51-37 now. Lynx and the Miners just slowly crawling back into this one. Lucer now give and go as he puts it up over Powell. Here come the Miners once again. It was a 20-point lead. It is now down to just 51-39. Freeman now with it. No look pass, bounce pass to Tyler. Bounce pass it to Bogan in the corner for three. No, too strong. Powell trying to tip that back, but it still finds Lucer, and it's going to be out of bounds, tipped by Powell. Looked kind of like maybe Lucer might have touched that last. But it is going to be Miners basketball with 17 and a half seconds left to play as they've double-teamed the inbound. So they're going to make them throw it into Hedgebit. Miller is going to be their man who runs the point for him. They're trying to take it away, but too easy there for the Miners. Shot clock turned off. Last shot of the possession right here is Bogan. We're going to have a jump ball possession, I believe, in favor of the Lynx here in this one, as Anthony Bogan came flying in out of nowhere trying to get his hand in the passing lane. 5.7 seconds left to play in this first half. Now the Lynx will have the final possession here, as it's 51-39. They throw it into Tyler. Tyler has 4 seconds left. He's already got 20 as that one's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lynx. 1.7 seconds left to play. They're going to inbound right next to the Miners bench. They lead at 51-39. And we'll see if the Lynx get off a shot here in this one. Look for the lob here to maybe Julian Powell or Trayvon Tyler. I believe Tyler's throwing it in, though. They throw it into Powell. Powell just turn around jumper, no good. So I was halfway right. As, again, that's going to do it here for the end of the first half. 51-39 is our score. What a half for Lincoln in this one, as they led an NCAA Division II team up by 20 at one point. Since then have kind of cooled off, but the Lynx were red hot here to start this ball game. I mean, just absolutely on a tear here in this one. They hit 10 threes in that first half. That is unreal. Nothing I've ever seen before from this Lynx squad so far this season. Hopefully that's something that they can continue to keep doing, and that'll keep rolling over into next time's game. But we still have another half to play, so they are going to have to continue this streak. What we saw at the end of the half is not something that we want to see carry over into the second half, because you know the Miners are going to go into halftime, and they're going to say, hey, look, man, this is a NAIA team that we should be able to beat. And they're taller, they're more physical than us right now, so they have a point. However, though, this Lynx team, they're playing resilient. Like I told you, they're here for a statement. It is a must-win game. That's what Coach Lepp has preached all day, pretty much, even last night. So look for them to kind of come out of halftime and have such an even better second half as well. Thank you. As, again, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have some more stats and analysis when we come back, though. However, your Lynx lead the way over the Miners here, 51-39, as we head to halftime. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
What are all the things you witness online in a day? Cats playing piano, selfies on your feed, your friend's picture being turned into a nasty meme that's been shared 50 times, 51, 52. When someone's being bullied online, it's hard to know what to do. Now you can speak up with the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Vera Roth, and I'm here with Alyssa Swystall, and she is a Disability Service Coordinator here on campus. And Alyssa, thank you for joining us. So what is it that you do here on campus?
So I am the Disability Services Coordinator on campus, which means that I take a look at documentation presented to me from students that are hoping to have accommodations in their classes and on their exams. And then based on that documentation, we can provide accommodations, we can provide support services, we can provide alternative versions of textbooks and other alternative formats for learning materials. So pretty much whatever a student needs while they're here on campus, if it's related to their disability, I'm the person.
You also run the Access Program, so what is the Access Program?
The Access Program is a program that's housed within the Office for Disability Services, but it's actually not just closed for students with disabilities. We are opening the program up to serve any student that would like to be a better student. So the Access Program includes a couple of different features, the first of which being Access Prep Week. So Access Prep Week starts off with students coming to campus the week before their freshman year, or whatever their first year on campus is going to be if they're a transfer student. And they get to spend that week sort of doing College Prep 101. So they get to meet me, they get to work with other students in the program, they get to meet our student leaders, and we get to do all kinds of fun stuff on campus. So we'll go on campus tours, we'll talk a little bit about some basic skills that students are going to need while they're here. We'll talk about the tutoring center and take a tour, have students meet a couple of our teachers and a couple of our faculty members, so that way when classes get rolling, they feel prepared. Additionally, during Access Prep Week, we do some discussions about the ways to be a successful student. We talk about time management, we talk about study skills and note-taking habits. So pretty much whatever students are going to need to get ready to roll, we try to cover during that week. The next feature of the Access Program starts that first week when it becomes time to start classes, where students come and meet with me 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the student and what they want to talk about. But during those meetings, we'll sit down for about a half an hour and we'll talk about class. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about grades and assignments and things that students are experiencing on campus that they are trying to work through. We talk about the homework assignments that are giving them stress and the ways that they can best prepare for their exams. We sometimes will encounter some situations with instructors that we need to work through. So I help them sort of problem solve their way to being great students. Another feature of the Access Program, which is usually the parents' favorite feature of the Access Program, is that students who are enrolled in the program get the benefit of having an extended outreach to their families. So we sort of keep that accountability going both in campus and off campus. That way students can have that sense of camaraderie and community and connectedness, both on campus and off. So parents will get updates regarding grades, regarding some goals that we're setting within our meetings, regarding the progress that we're making, and sometimes the struggles that we're having. So that way, if somebody at home has a creative solution, we can go ahead and use that too.
I'm Vera, and I'm here with Alyssa Swystall, and she is a Disability Service Coordinator here on campus. So what kind of activities do you do with the Access students?
I've really wanted to have an opportunity for students to work together a little bit more often, to socialize a little bit more often. So Access study tables are a great way that we're accomplishing that this year, where students are able to sort of hang out and talk and work together on different assignments and projects. And it's been, I think, a pretty successful opportunity. Occasionally, we'll still have group meetings where we'll talk about specific sort of lessons. So we'll talk about preparing for job interviews. We'll sometimes cover stuff with resumes.
Now, you mentioned Access Student Leaders. So what are the Access Student Leaders?
Yeah, Access Student Leaders are students that have been in the program who've kind of gotten their feet wet and know what it's about, and who are interested in leadership opportunities, interested in sharing the benefits that they've had in the Access program with other incoming students. So the Access Student Leaders are going to be there at those study tables. They're going to be around to help support the program. They're going to be faces on campus that a student can go talk to if they're having a problem that they may not want to come to me about.
So what is your favorite part of your job?
Oh my gosh, my favorite part of my job is the students. Absolutely the students. Every day I get to look at my schedule and see which person I get to hang out with that day and who's going to be coming in and what we might get to do. I've always been a huge fan of learning. I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning new things. And so if I can share some of that excitement with a student, if I can motivate a student to feel like they are participating in their education instead of just sort of going through it, that's a good feeling.
Well, thanks for your time, Melissa.
Absolutely.
I have been Vera Roth. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the second half of today's game. Coming up next, you're listening to Lincoln College Basketball on 89X.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org. This message has been brought to you by the Humane Society of the United States, Maddie's Fund, and the Ad Council.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so badly, he ended up in the emergency room and spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy about telling people not to smoke around your kids.
Half of U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me. Whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Check her out. Man.
I like that. When young men turn 18, they think they know a lot about the facts of life. But there are a few more facts they need to know. Fact, you have to register with Selective Service when you turn 18. It's the law. Fact, registration keeps you eligible for government jobs and student loans. Fact, it's easy to register. Just visit sss.gov or any post office. Register with Selective Service when you turn 18. It's the law, and that's a fact.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart savings strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Our military service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. They step up. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Wounded Warrior Project provides these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence at no cost for life. So now it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Join us at findwwp.org.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We're back here in the Gibson Arena where your Lynx leading the way here at halftime, 51-39. As, again, we're going to have some stats for you here in this one. As I pretty much said it all pretty much throughout the entire first half, is Trayvon Tyler. He's got 20. He's leading the way here for the Lynx, followed by Darnell Latham Jr. He's got 13. However, though, the Lynx kind of cooled off late in that first half. They shot 59% totally from the field in that first half, 19 for 32 in that one. But, again, really the big difference on the scoreboard, though, is the fact that Missouri S&T only shot 5 of 12 from beyond the arc, and the Lynx have made 10 of 14 from beyond the arc. Again, 10 of 15 from beyond the arc here, and that one by far one of the best outside perimeter shooting squads that we have seen in a long time here for the Lynx as they lead at 51-39, and we're getting ready to start this second half. One other thing, though, the Lynx are leading the way in the rebounding category just by one. As, again, that's another issue for this Lynx team, as they did get out-rebounded last night, 40-28 on the glass, and still managed to pull out a 1-point win. Now the Miners will have the first possession of the second half, 51-39. Starters same for both squads. Hesbit kicks it out to Miller in the corner, who thought about a three. No, to Solarchik. And he'll hit the three this time from the corner. So if it's not Miller, it's going to be Solarchik as he knocks it down. 51-42 now. It's now a 9-point game. So this is a Miners team that was down by 20 at one point. Now has it within 9. Powell with it at the top of the key to Crumble. Crumble gets a screen from Powell. Goes right around it, picks up his dribble, has nowhere to go. Tyler with it with 7 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to try to drive in, right side lane, puts up a floater, nowhere, close off the front of the rim and out. 51-42 now. Miners coming back in transition. Hedgebit trying to drive in, takes a floater right over Crumble. Still no. Ball's tipped by Powell into the hands of Crumble. Into the hands of Latham Jr. Jr. kind of letting it roll to him. Gets it right back, though, as him and Crumble were playing keep away. As he takes a mid-range jumper. No good. In and out. As Powell almost came down with it. Instead could not. Here the Miners come now back down the opposite way. Newt with it. Newt guarded by Latham Jr., who takes a step back three, no good. Air ball as Latham Jr. Julian Powell pulls down the board, trying to get an outlet to Latham Jr., but could not. It was stolen away by Hedgebit. So the Miners are going to have another possession here, as that one by Loose Air could not find the bottom of the net, and the Lynx and Trayvon Tyler pulls down the board. So Lynx trying to push it in transition as Solarchich knocks that one out of bounds as Tyler was trying to feed Johnson in the right corner. Miners playing a much more physical defense here in this one as they got it to within 9, 51-42. 18 minutes left to play. Johnson set the inbound. They'll find Crumble. Crumble's guarded by Newt as he wants a screen from L.J. Johnson. Doesn't get one as he's standing at midcourt. Crumble trying to feed Johnson, but stolen away by Miller. He's got a fast break opportunity. Julian Powell's trailing, and he's going to lay it up and in, maybe even through contact. No whistle, though, as Miller flexes his muscles here, and the Miners all of a sudden back in this ball game. It's 51-44. And I'm sure they did not even expect to be down by 20 at one point, but they are back in the ball game now. 51-44, 17 and a half minutes left to play. That's enough time as Newt almost got a piece of that one. Crumble throws it off of Newt just to keep the possession alive, as this Lynx team kind of struggling here in the last about 5 minutes, 3 minutes of this half, and about the last 2 minutes of the first half as well. As Latham Jr. set to inbound to Crumble. Out to Tyler. Tyler wasn't paying attention, though. Stolen away by Hedgebit. Hedgebit give and go with Larchich. He'll lay it up and in left side. And, here comes the Miners. 51-46 now. And like I said, that's what they're made of. As they want to play that fast-paced type of game. The Lynx are going to have to slow it down. They did a good job of it in the first half, but late in that first half did not. In the second half here as well cannot, as Johnson drives in right side lane. Can't get that one to go. Rebounded by the Miners. In Miller. 51-46 as they come back down the other way. Lynx still leading the way. Hedgebit from the top of the key for three. No. Miller with an offensive rebound and putback. And here they come. Now all of a sudden within 3. 51-48. Now with 17 minutes left to play. So that Coach Lepp and the Lynx have saw this 20-point lead dwindle away, as they're going to have a dogfight for the rest of this ball game. Again, no one said it was going to be easy, especially on the road. Here comes Latham Jr. now, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson now on the right wing, trying to drive baseline to Tyler in the corner, out to Crumble, swinging it around to Latham Jr. Jr. had a three, instead drives into the lane, puts it up through contact, and count it. As now Coach Lepp going to call a timeout right here after the made basket by Latham Jr. 53-48. And I believe it was a timeout taken on the floor. And they do say, everyone says, I know. Coach Lepp already losing his voice of how bad he's screaming here today, trying to get, it is that loud, and partially it's because the band is probably, down the bench from us, kind of in the gym, and that's always makes it a little bit louder as well. They play pretty well, though, if I may add. Again, though, 53-48, though, this is a Lynx team that had Missouri S&T on the ropes, and now all of a sudden we have a ball game here in the Gibson Arena. This is a Lynx team so far only 1 for 4 to start this second half, while again Missouri S&T just 4 for 8 so far in this second half. So again, the Lynx really struggling offensively here in this one, and right now the Lynx not winning the turnover battle, as they have 13 turnovers so far in the ball game, as Missouri S&T only has 10. So again, they're going to have to force a few more turnovers like they did in the first half, as they just got to play cool, calm, collected, and play their brand of basketball just like they did in the first half. Not every shot's going to go in like we saw in that first half. I mean, they shot 59% from the field in that first half, and you don't expect them to shoot that again, but you'd want to see them up near 45, close to 50% if they can. As the Miller and the Miners coming back, as Larchich trying to drive in, saved it from going out of bounds, but somehow it finds the hands of Freeman here for the Lynx. Here come Lincoln back down the other way. Tyler hands it off to Johnson. Johnson now at midcourt. It's a screen from Powell trying to drive in. Picks up his dribble, has to kick it back out to Tyler. Wants a screen, bounce passes one back now to Johnson with 10 seconds on the shot clock. We're under 16 minutes to play. 53-48 now. Johnson with the basketball at the top of the key. Takes a jumper just past the free throw line and knocks it down just inside the three-point line. L.J. Johnson with it now. So he's got the lead back up, 55-48, as the Miners and Lucer almost lost it out of bounds. Somehow finds Miller in the left side corner. He's guarded by Trayvon Tyler. Miller trying to drive in, kicks it out to Newt. Newt hands it off to Hedgepeth. He drives out to Miller. Miller faked the three to Newt. Back to Miller. They both probably had wide open shots. Instead, that they're going to find Larsic, who takes the wide open three. He could not hit. Probably not one of their better three-point shooters. I know Newt is by far one of their best shooters on this team, as Latham Jr. and Newt going at it back and forth, as he was definitely being guarded hard. The Lynx come back down the other way with the basketball. 55-48, 15 minutes left to play. Johnson with 10 seconds on the shot clock, trying to drive in right side lane. Bounce passes one to the corner for Latham Jr., who catch and shoots. And Latham Jr. once again from beyond the arc. He's got 18 here in this one. Here come the Miners real quickly now as Miller trying to drive in, takes the mid-range jumper and knocks it down. It's kind of been his go-to. We've seen him do that a time or two here in this ball game, as it's now 58-50. The Lynx coming back down the opposite direction. And everybody out there starting-wise, except for Crumble, who's on the bench right now, as Johnson drives in, puts one up off the glass, can't get it to go. Powell with an offensive rebound, put back, no. Ball's loose on the floor. Powell gets it yet again, goes back up with it, and this time finishes through contact, as that one drops for him, 60-50. Now, and it's back to a 10-point lead here for the Lynx. Freeman now guarding Miller as they kick it out to Lucer. Lucer trying to drive baseline, puts it up off the glass and gets the friendly roll. Then the Lynx bench, one of the travel, did not get one, though, however, as Johnson going to run the point. Now hands it off to Tyler to set up the play. 13:40 left to play in this ball game. Lynx up by 8, 60-52. Again, both teams were trading baskets early in the first half. We'll see if that continues in the second. Tyler driving in, right side lane, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Lucer pulls down the rebound here for the Miners. Miller in transition with Hedgepeth, who drives in, left side lane, denied though by Powell, but somehow finds Miller. Miller goes back up with it and puts it up over Powell this time. Not going to block that one, says Miller. And it's now a 6-point lead for the Lynx. 60-54, 13 minutes left to play. Johnson coming back down, bringing it up the floor. Only played 12 minutes in that first half. And Montez Crumble played 20 minutes as that ball's loose on the floor, as Solarczyk dove to the ground to get it, as now Hedgepeth can't corral that pass. Down low to Lucer, who's trying to give and go with Powell, but he's going to be denied, though, by the rim only, as that little lob there from Latham somehow finds Latham Jr. as he goes coast to coast, and we're going to have a foul going against Hedgepeth, I believe, as he went up high for that. Latham had to put it up basically over the top of the backboard. Comes down, and he's going to be fouled, as we're going to have a timeout on the floor, as the Lynx lead by 6, 60-54, still 12:45 left to play in this ball game. And this is a Lynx team that, like I said, was rolling so far in the first half. It seemed like they couldn't miss a beat. But now, the Miners, I mean, you didn't think they were going to go away quietly on their home floor. They're going to make them work for it. And right now, they're working for it right here in this one, as the Miners really setting the tone in this second half. The Lynx going to have to do a little bit of a better job kind of knowing where the pass is going to go, and kind of not, I don't want to say careless is the right word, because it's not, but kind of just be more of a heads-up type of play on offense. You gotta be able to know. We've seen a few miscommunications on some of the passes by Lincoln here. Thank you. As I'm just absolutely getting flooded here with papers, but I love every minute of it, as you gotta thank Missouri S&T's crew down there that's doing the stats, as once again I'm getting updating stats while I'm sitting here and talking to you right now. So with the updated stats, we have the Lynx are now still out rebounding Missouri S&T right now, only by 2 though on the glass, so they're going to have to continue to work hard on the glass for that. as we come out of the media timeout. Latham Jr., who drove to the rack, was fouled. So that's going to put him at the line for 2 opportunities. As Freeman's first one, no good, but you got to give the band section here a little bit of some credit. They got a tuba player, and he's kneeling down with the tuba, saying you gotta make it in the tuba. It's definitely creative. Threw Latham Jr. up on the first one, and he's by far our best free throw shooter. So you knew it kind of got in his head a little bit. Does make the second, though, however, as it's 61-54. As that one denied, though, at the rim by Julian Powell, as Ondrick tried to go up for a layup there. The Miners working quickly as the Lynx have the basketball and the lead coming back the other way. 12.5 minutes to play. Johnson takes a jumper from the free throw line and knocks that one down. So it's back to a 9-point lead here for the Lynx. 63-54. Now, Newt and the Miners back the opposite direction. Hedgepeth now over to Muhammad, who takes the 3 from the corner. No good. Rebounded by Powell. Outlet now to Johnson. Johnson's going to slowly bring up the floor. He sees a lane starting to drive baseline. Instead kicks it back out to Powell on the left wing. Give and go with Freeman, who cut to the rack and lays it up and in. So Freeman now has 4 here in the ball game. Muhammad. And the Miners back down the other way. Hedgepeth with it. Give and go. Bounce pass to Newt. Newt trying to drive in. Left side lane. Puts up a floater. Count the basket and the foul. As Newt almost kind of looked like he just threw up a prayer, but I think he knew what he was doing as it goes in. And he's going to go to the line for an and 1 opportunity. As for the foul, that's going to be on L.J. Johnson, his 3rd. Team's first here in the half. As Newt knocks down his free throw, and it's 65-57, so both teams really kind of going back and forth here in this one. Johnson going to run the point. I believe I saw Bogan go to the scores table. As Johnson saw a lane, cuts right through it, and lays it up and in on the easy 2. And no one around. Instead, back to a 10-point lead here for Lincoln. Miners working really quickly here in this one, as Freeman kind of fell a little bit on Muhammad as he gives it off to Miller. Miller standing at the top of the key now with 17 on the shot clock. Bounce pass one. Down low to Fairless. Fairless double team, kicks it out to Miller. Miller from beyond the arc. No, that ball's tipped out of bounds, but saved by Latham Jr. No, they're going to say a foot was on the line, so it will be staying with the Miners underneath their own basket. Here comes L.A. Bogan into the ball game, as now we're at the under 12 media timeout. And it seems like we take more media timeouts than we do anything, but that one is going to do it. 67-57 is our score. Here with still 11 minutes left to play in this ball game, as right now Trayvon Tyler leading the way with 20, but Darnell Latham Jr. not too far behind with 18, and the big man Julian Powell down low's got 10 so far. Also has 8 boards to go along with that, so he's eyeing a double-double here, along with even Darnell Latham Jr. He's got 8 rebounds as well. So Lynx doing a better job on the glass, going for the rebounds here in this one. As Missouri S&T cheerleaders had the mini cheerleading squad out there, and when I say mini, I'm talking probably about 5 to 8, somewhere in there. I'm not really good with eyeballing ages. Some of them look like they could be 9. Some of them look like they could be 4. However, I don't know. They did a pretty good job, though. They memorized that routine fairly well. 67-57 is our score with exactly 11 minutes left to play here in the Gibson Arena, as the Lynx had a 20-point cushion early in the first half. Watched it dwindle all the way down to 6, and now back up to 10. The Miners will have the basketball underneath their own basket, along with a fresh 30. Looks like Miller set the inbound, finds Newt. Newt catch and shoot off the screen, and no, in and out as Julian Powell pulls down the board. Outlet now to Latham Jr. Nobody back as Latham Jr. tried to go for the dunk, and he cannot make it, as it was almost like a dunk, and then tried to lay it up and in as he was in midair, and just kind of got off balance there. Couldn't get that one to go. As now Muhammad lays that one up and in. Back to a 8-point lead for the Lynx. And could be interesting down the stretch I'd love to see Latham Jr. throw it down just like anybody else, but take the points when you can get it. As so far so good here for the Lynx. 67-59. Johnson with it. Looked like he had a lane on the right wing. Bounce passes one down low to Powell. Powell, give and go. We're going to have a traveling violation on Julian Powell. Shuffled his feet there just before he took the dribble. It's going to give the ball back to the Miners here. They trail by 8. 67-59 here in this one. Miners, Muhammad, trying to feed Fairless down low, but again, too high. He was wide open. Powell was kind of up a little too high on that little 2-3 zone there that the Lynx switched into, but just overthrew his man, and that's going to be a turnover by the Miners here. As the Lynx almost couldn't get the ball inbound, and almost a 5-second call. If they do get it in, Tyler brings it across half court, out to Bogan. Tyler now with it. Guarded very closely by Newt. He falls. Ball's loose on the floor. Ends up. And we're going to have a foul going against Trayvon Tyler, who lost the ball, then had his hand on the basketball. I thought they were going to call a jump ball. Instead, they call a foul on Trayvon Tyler. So that's going to be his second, team's second, here in the half. Lynx still leading the way, though, 67-59. A generous call there for the Miners. See if they can capitalize. Muhammad to Fairless at the top of the key. Down low to Andrix. Out to the right wing now for Muhammad, who drives in. Kicks it out to Miller from the left wing. He drives baseline. Back out to Fairless. To Muhammad now at the top of the key. Takes a jumper from the free throw line with 10 seconds on the shot clock. No, that ball's tipped out of bounds, and they're going to say stay right there, as it looked like Fairless came right over the back of Trayvon Tyler. Nothing was called. Looked like he hit it out of bounds. Instead, they're going to say it stay with the Miners here in this one. And some interesting calls here going down on the opposite end of the floor. I don't want to say that the officials give the game away, because that's not what they do. But now we have another whistle on LJ Johnson. So he's going to have 4 here in this one. He's didn't get him out in time, so Johnson's going to have to be careful here as Newt takes the jumper right over Johnson. No. Tipped back out by Powell into the hands of Fairless. He's going to try to go back up with it. He's going to be denied, though, by Powell. And Coach Lepp wanted a jump ball, but it was rolling on the floor out of bounds and ends up in the hands of the Lynx here in this one. Now Lepp having a word with the officials. It is Lynx basketball, as the Miners now going to have this full court press. Bogan set to inbound. They will throw it to Tyler. Tyler trying to drive in. He finds Bogan, gets it across half court to Turner, who just checked in for Johnson. Back out to Bogan, and we're going to have Bogan stepped on the out of bounds line on the opposite end of the floor. So a couple interesting calls here. I'm sure Bogan did step out, but you just never know these days, especially with those few kind of going the other way down at the other end. Muhammad now trying to drive into the lane, puts up contact through Powell. No foul called. They're kind of letting him play here a little bit, as Miller, no-look pass, behind the back pass, I should say, to Muhammad, but he kicks it back out. Bounce passes one down low to Andrich. Andrich now double-teamed, kicks it back out to Hedgebeth. Hedgebeth now at the top of the key, trying to drive in right side lane, but he's guarded very closely by Trayvon Tyler. Back out to Muhammad. Muhammad to Fairless. Give and go, and great ball movement by Missouri S&T as they get that one to go. 67-61 now. 8.5 remaining in the ball game. Tyler now bringing it up the floor here for the Lynx as they lead by 6. Tyler wants a screen. Instead, bounce passes one to Turner at the top of the key. Looking down low, instead back to Tyler on the wing. Tyler now drives in right side lane, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Turner tips it out of bounds, and they're going to say stay right here, I believe. And they will, as it is going to be a fresh 30 here for the Lynx. They will inbound underneath their own basket. 67-61. Latham Jr., Powell, Tyler, Bogan, and Turner. Latham set to throw it in. Trying to get it in as they throw it finally into the backcourt as Bogan is back there to receive it. And 8 minutes remaining. Latham Jr. now on the right wing. Jr. trying to drive baseline, takes that mid-range jumper that he loves so much. This one way off. doesn't hit anything, but it was tipped out of bounds by the Miners as Powell and Miller were fighting for it. They're going to say it was last touched by SNT, and it's going to give the ball back to the Lynx yet again. And now we have a timeout on the floor, a media timeout, as we're under 8 left here in this one. Lynx lead by 6. Don't go anywhere, though. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back in about a minute, we will have the rest of the 8 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Lynx lead by 6 over the Miners here, an NCAA Division II team, as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Gibson Arena where your Lynx lead it 67-61 over Missouri SNT, an NCAA Division II team. Again, this is a statement game for this Lynx squad, who sits at 7-6 on the season, trying to improve to 8-6 as Bogan coming out of the timeout, catch and shoot from the corner, no good. As here the Miners come back the other way, but Turner with some good hustle bats it out of bounds. Otherwise, Solarchik might have had a wide open dunk for the Miners. Instead, Turner hustles all the way back down and knocks it away. So they're going to inbound underneath their own basket as they find Miller. Miller, catch and shoot with the little floater, no good. Turner pulls down the board here for Lincoln. Tyler now with it. Going to push the pace here, but slows it down on the left wing. Tyler backs it up just a little bit. He's guarded by Miller. Tyler and this Lynx squad, you know how they work, kind of wasting time as Tyler just goes straight to the rack, lays it up and in, as Trayvon Tyler has his first points of the second half, where he had 20 in the first half. He's now got 22. Muhammad to Miller, down low to Solarkic. Back to Hedgespith. To Muhammad now in the right corner. Give and go to Miller now. Miller trying to drive baseline around Latham, but throws it right into the hands of Tyler. Tyler coming now back down the opposite direction. Finds Latham. Latham Jr. sizing up his man Muhammad as he tried to drive baseline. Instead, kicks it back out to Tyler, but it's going to be tipped by Miller. Miller was reading it all the way. Outlet now to Solarchik, and he'll just lay it up and in for the easy two. 69-63. 6.5 minutes remaining here in this ball game. And the Lynx have stayed strong and really have not let them within past 6, as now we're going to have a jump ball. I believe the possession arrow is going to be in favor of Lincoln, so it'll stay right here. Here comes L.J. Johnson back into the ball game. Again, he's going to have to be careful. He's got 4 fouls here in this one, and he'll come in and get Latham Jr. Now Bogan's going to inbound it underneath the Lynx basket. 6:20 remaining, 69-63. Lynx leading the way and have the basketball. Bogan trying to feed Turner down low instead, kicks it to Tyler out in the corner. He's guarded very closely by Newt as Tyler now bounce pass it to Powell. Powell trying to find Bogan, but Bogan could not corral it. That one goes out of bounds, and the Lynx turn the ball over one more time as we're going back the opposite direction. 69-63, 6 minutes left to play. Miller give and go with Solarchik as Turner got a piece of that one. Solarchik's now trying to drive in, puts one up off the rim, no good. Powell pulls down the board. Powell's just going to take it himself across midcourt as Powell, the big man, showing some moves. He bounce passes one down low to Bogan, who was running the floor, but it was kind of Bogan and Turner were both in the same vicinity, and neither one of them knew which one wanted to grab it. Bogan, however, though, if he could have got that, that would have been an easy 2 for Lincoln, as once again it's on back-to-back turnovers for the Lynx, as it's 69-63 now, as we're under 6 minutes to play. Miller will bring it up the floor for the Miners. They have the basketball. Newt now takes the jumper from the free throw line off the front of the rim and out. Rebounded by Turner. Outlet now to Tyler. 2-on-1 fast break as he goes coast to coast. And we're going to have I believe a blocking foul. And they do say count the basket and the foul, as I could not see here. Even the Lynx, some of the Lynx bench was getting a little carried away. Blocks my view, but count it. And Tyler's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity. The old-fashioned three-point play. 71-63. Now the band section has something else to provide Trayvon Tyler with instead of the tuba here for Darnell Latham Jr. He does knock down the free throw, and it's back to a 9-point lead. Now we have an illegal screen going against Missouri SNT. As now, I believe see what they're gonna. I think they're gonna check and see who the foul was on. I believe. I don't know what else they could possibly be looking at here. So we come about 3.5 hours south of here, and we got instant replay, and officials can use the replay too. Not something we have back up in Lincoln, and not something we could do. However, though, we don't due to NAIA, but NCAA Division II, and Division I has it, so why not? Missouri Valley was NAIA, though. It'd be interesting to see. We had, a stoppage for about 10 minutes or so yesterday's ball game in that one. And now, once again, we got some more stoppage, so we can look at, I believe, who they put the foul on Fairless. And now the official that called time is now, I think they were just looking to see at the time, but they said the time was right. So once again, looking at a monitor for no reason. So we're one of 3 so far for the reasons of looking at a monitor so far in these 2 basketball games in Missouri. One was for the fight, which I can attest to that. I would have no doubt you want to make it fair and want to make sure Turner picks up his dribble, trying to find L.J. Johnson as the Miners picked up the defense intensity here a little bit. 15 on the shot clock now. Johnson, Powell, Tyler, Turner, and Bogan on the floor. 9 seconds left. Johnson now kicks it back to Tyler. Back to Johnson. Johnson with 2 seconds. Has to throw up a floater and gets it to go, but it's in and out as it was halfway down but couldn't corral it. 72-63. Here come the Miners back the other way. Missouri S&T trailing by 9 as Hedgepit with it. Looking for room, but guarded very closely by Bogan. Down low to Sularse. Back out to Hedgepit. He takes the 3. No, in and out. Powell pulls down the board, and the Lynx going to bring it slowly back up the opposite direction. Again, Coach Lepp talked about this being a statement win, and the Lynx are 4.5 minutes away from making that happen as L.J. Johnson goes to the rack, drives baseline, and puts it in. 4-2, 74-63 now as the Lynx up by 11. For Johnson, he's got 13 in the ball game. Miners now. Newt trying to drive in, takes a step-back jumper off the free throw line. No, that ball's tipped in the air into the hands of Bogan. Bogan now throws it to Tyler. Outlet now to Powell. Powell all alone, and he's going to slam one home. There's the slam sandwich there by Julian Powell, as it's now a 13-point lead with 4 minutes to play. 76-63 now, and the Lynx will need a stop. They want to stop right here. You can hear them chanting defense. Again, led by assistant coach Ed McGee as Hedgepit now down low to Hairless. That's blocked, though, by Bogan. Once again, though, out to Newt. As he regains it, takes the three, and he's money with it right there. So the Miners aren't going to go away quietly. Back to a 10-point lead as Turner now give and go with Powell. Powell's fouled hard underneath the basket by Fairless. Otherwise, that could have been another 2-on-1 alley-oop to Doopy right there for the Lynx squad. I mean, I crack myself up sometimes. But 76-66 is our score. Just under 3.5 minutes to play here in this one. And the Lynx looking good. But like I said, these media timeouts and a couple timeouts taken, it's going to be interesting down the stretch. We still have plenty of time on the clock for the Miners to kind of crawl their way back into this one. So this one, especially with how the Lynx have played so far in the last couple games, where they kind of we've known all season long where they kind of let teams back into the ball game. Well, right now they let the Miners back in the ball game, but they haven't let them close. They have not gotten to a one-possession game so far. The Lynx are staying ahead of them. I think the most was, I believe, 5 or 6 was the total here in the second half. Thank you. As that's the farthest or the closest that the Miners have gotten to the Lynx here in this one since leading by 20. Actually, the Lynx led by 23 at one point. And so far, though, however, for the Lynx, they're still winning the rebounding battle on the glass. They're winning it by 4, 36-32. I know that's something that Coach Lip has been preaching. Is there's been a few games where that we've gotten out rebounding, and it's like we were twice the size of some other teams. Same thing happening here. We're a little bit bigger than this team, and like I said, we should be out rebounding them, and we are. So now the Lynx going to inbound underneath their own basket, but the official found something on the floor. Looks like a wet spot of some sort. Somebody slipped. Now Turner, Tyler, Hedgepit, Newt, they're all over there just kind of shuffling the floor here in this one. Is now Tyler, knock on wood, that nobody slips and falls from here on out. Newt kind of gave it a little laugh. Some good sportsmanship there by both squads. And the Lynx kind of need to see some sportsmanship after the game last night, as Johnson now will have it. And 16 seconds on the shot clock. 3 minutes left to play in the game as Johnson trying to drive baseline, kicks it out to Latham Jr. Jr. now with it, guarded by Hedgepit, as he's going to just pull up from downtown. No good. Long three there by Latham Jr. was hitting him in the first half, could not in this one, as Lucaire now with it. Almost had it stolen away by Turner, but instead finds Miller. 76-66 as Miller takes the mid-range jumper. No. Powell pulls down a big board right there. And for Powell, I believe that should give him his double-double here on the day, as Newt stole that one away from Johnson, and he lays it up. Cannot finish, but, however, he could not, as L.J. Johnson picked up his 5th personal. So his night is over. Johnson wanted an explanation, but either way, he's going to have to take a seat. So Montez Crumble now will check in here into the ballgame. Montez started the ballgame. Haven't seen him, I believe, since, only seen him for about a minute since halftime. So not playing much here in the second half, as he does make them both right there. It's an 8-point lead now for the Lynx, 76-68. They throw it into Powell. Powell trying to push the floor, but Newt has that one stolen away, but Powell corrals it, falls loose on the floor. And they say that one of the Newt or Fairless was standing on the out-of-bounds line, so it's going to give the ball to the Lynx. 2:32 left remaining in this ballgame. Lynx lead 76-68 as Latham Jr. finds Crumble. Crumble guarded by Newt, who's trying to backpick him there, but Crumble read it all the way because that's Crumble's move. Crumble knows all those backpicking moves all too well. He's got a couple steals. Crumble now just kind of dribbling around as Newt trying to go right through the screen. Instead gives it to Turner. Turner takes a step back, thought about a 3. Now almost wanted to travel there. It's close. It's 2 seconds on the shot clock. Latham just going to have to throw up a prayer. He cannot. It did hit the backboard in the rim, but rebounded by Missouri S&T. Here they come back the other way. We're at the 2 minutes left to play. 76-68 now as the Lynx trying to make it interesting. Now Lucer trying to drive to the rack, and it's going to be fouled by Julian Powell. So that's going to send Lucer to the line for 2 opportunities. And not the greatest free throw shooter here for the Miners, just 66%, as he knocked down the first one right there. And Lucer so far 1 of 2 from the line. Make him now 2 for 3, with 1 more coming.
Rebound, Chris. Rebound, Greg. Rebound, Darnell. Rebound, Darnell.
As that one in as well, and now we're going to have a timeout taken by the head coach, Jim Glash. He wants to talk things over for Missouri S&T, as this is now down to a 6-point lead for Lincoln. As we've got about just under 2 minutes left to play. Lynx trying to just hang in there. Again, like I said, they have not let the Miners back into this ball game since they've been up by 6. 5 or 6 is where the Lynx have kept it here, so I'd look for Coach Lepp and his squad to come back and maybe try to draw something up here on the offensive side of things for them to kind of get an easy 2 or some sort to kind of keep it an 8-point deficit and just kind of keep making them make shots. You start missing, then all they got to do is make it and get a stop down the other end of the floor. I know it sounds simple, but it's a lot harder than people make it out to be. They throw it into Freeman, who just checked in. Freeman now trying to double team him, kicks it back out to Tyler. They're not going to double team Tyler here because they know that he can split that double team rather easily. Minute 45 to go, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Tyler at midcourt. Tyler now trying to drive into the rack. He sees an opening, puts it up off the glass, left side lane. Didn't get nothing called as Newt with it. Wanted to travel. It looked like a travel there as he. Now we have an offensive foul as DeAndre Freeman stood in there and took a charge. And Newt, the one who kind of ran him over, gave him a little high five, so he knew that it was a charge. So again, both teams showing great sportsmanship here in this ball game. Tyler set to inbound. They'll throw it into Powell. And nobody beyond half court for both squads, so they could easily throw a lob down the floor if they so desire. As Tyler now with it, trying to drive it, kicks it out to Freeman. Freeman now over to Latham Jr. Still 18 seconds on the shot clock. Jr. driving in, puts it in, and yes, he gets it to fall there for the Lynx, as that makes it now an 8-point lead here with 1:10 remaining in this ball game. I don't want to say it's over yet, as it is a full time. So it is going to end up being a full timeout. So one team standing, one team sitting. I was wondering what they were going to call right there, as the officials kind of had to talk things over. But again, the Lynx are 1 minute and 10 seconds away from making a big statement in their first year in the NAIA Division II as the Independents, because this team is about, like I said, 1:10 away from taking down an NCAA Division II team in the country. And now this is a basketball team that, I'm looking up in the rafters right now, and you see men's basketball tournament champs, 1996, NCAA men's basketball national tournament a few times. They got 3 appearances in the national tournament for Division II, and they have 1 Sweet 16 appearance, and that's as far, I believe, as they've gone, because the banners stopped there. But again, 78-70, 1:10 left to play in this ball game. The Lynx, again, just trying to hang on right here, play some good defense, and not get in any foul trouble. And the Lynx, only 5 team fouls committed by both teams, so neither team is in the bonus right here. So both teams have some fouls to give. 78-70, 1:10 left to play, as the Miners will have the basketball.
No fouls.
Miller to Hedgepeth. Over to Fairless. Back to Miller. Miller on the left wing to the top of the key now in Newt. Newt trying to drive in. We're under a minute to play as he gets it somehow to Hedgebit. Down low to Fairless. Fairless picks up his dribble, has it poked away, but still manages to put it up and in off the glass. 78-72 as Tyler throws the baseball pass to Crumble. Crumble just going to lay it up and in, and he's going to be fouled hard on the play as Crumble goes right in to the bottom of the basket. Good thing it is padding right there. However, though, so that should send him to the line for 2 shots as he's kind of grimacing a little bit. Now we have a unicorn here in this one. We've seen the tuba. We've seen them throw it up and down, their instruments up and down. Now we have somebody wearing a unicorn mask. But doesn't affect Montez Crumble, though, as he knocks down the first. Everyone's yelling to hit the unicorn. So kind of like the school spirit, at least from Missouri S&T. They are trying their best, and it's worked twice as Crumble misses the second. So Latham and Crumble were bitten by the band bug as Miller comes in, takes a quick jumper, and gets it to go. 79-74 now as the Lynx lead by 5. And now Jim Glass is going to call a timeout here. He's got a couple remaining. The Lynx only have 1 remaining, as it is going to be a 30-second timeout. We're at 40 seconds left to play in this ballgame. Lynx ahead by 5. And still far from over, though. 2-possession ballgame. The Lynx need a stop right here and kind of waste some more time. I know that one on that pass, it was a baseball pass from Tyler to Crumble. However, and yeah, they ended up getting 1 of 2. But you'd like to see Crumble maybe possibly back that one out a little bit and kind of maybe waste some more time. There's probably about, 50 or so seconds, just under a minute to play when that happened. So maybe possibly could have wasted about another 10 seconds or so off the game clock and put it about 30, and it would have been maybe a final possession for the Miners as they finally get it into Freeman, or to Latham Jr. as he's going to be fouled hard, even though he's going straight to the rack. As Miller is going to be called for that one. That's going to be his first, team's 7th. So the Miners got the Lynx in the bonus now. So that's going to send Latham to the line. And we'll see if this time Latham is bitten by the band bug, as this time not so much. Knocks down the first one right there. This time they chanted mine, kind of like from the movie Nemo. That's what they're at least making it sound like. Now they're saying yours. But either way, Latham Jr. knocks down them both. The band bug doesn't bite him. And it's 81-74 now as we're under 37 seconds to play. Miller trying to go coast to coast. Too strong off the board as Tyler pulls down that one, but trying to find Latham Jr. Stolen away by Newt, but somehow Latham Jr. steals it right back and let the fouling begin. As I think the Lynx can start to celebrate now. They lead at 81-74 with Latham Jr. going to the line yet again, but Newt down on the floor here as they're holding his right knee, I believe. And he kind of twisted it, maybe possibly the wrong direction. Doesn't really look like he can straighten it at the moment. So they think, anyway. People are yelling back and forth saying that they missed a lot of calls. I'd have to agree. They did miss a lot of calls on the Lynx. There's quite a few that they probably should have, called here, and not much they're going to do about it now. I mean, you know how this goes. Even on the losing ends, on both ends of this, they just try to, blame the officials. And when you blame the officials, that's pretty much an easy way for an excuse. I mean, the Lynx played really well in this ball game. I mean, you talk about the first half, they were up by 23 at one point in this ball game, and credit the Miners for coming back. But again, the Lynx have never let it get to within 5 like it was just a few moments ago. That is close that the Miners have gotten in this second half. Latham Jr. going to go to the line for 2 opportunities. Lynx lead the way, 81-74, with 27 seconds left to go. They are 27 seconds away from making a statement here in Rolla, Missouri by beating an NCAA Division II team as Latham knocks down the first free throw right there. And Turner, Tyler, Powell, Latham Jr., and Crumble on the floor here for the Lynx to finish off this final 27 seconds. He knocks down the second one as well, and it's a 9-point lead for the Lynx. Miller now with it. He's going to be met by Latham Jr. around midcourt. We're under 20 to play now. Out to Gerke. He catch and shoot from downtown. No. And now we're going to have an over and back call on J.J. Turner. There's probably been a few of them over there between him and Powell, but they haven't called them. Now they decide to call them here when everyone starts yelling. Ironic. So the Miners will inbound again. The Lynx didn't have the Miners in the bonus yet, so therefore they have some fouls to give as Hedgepeth takes a long three. No. Offensive rebound, though, by Miller as it's pulled down by Turner as he can't hit. Now Tyler will have it. 5 seconds to play, and the Lynx made a statement here on the road, taking this one by the final score of 83-74 here in this one. And again, the Lynx, like I said, it credit them to a great first half that they played. The Lynx made 10 three-pointers in that first half and did not look back. They led by as many as 23 at one point. Since then, they let the Miners come back in this ball game. You knew they were going to. They were going to have their say here on their home floor. But again, the Lynx never let the Miners within 5 in that second half and really pulled away when they needed it most. So also, too, I want to credit both teams for good sportsmanship. Just because of our game the other night, that's something that we kind of needed right there, and the Lynx did a great job of it. So today, they got the job done, as DeMario giving me some knuckles here in this one. Again, that's going to do it all for me. 83-74 is the final here in this one. Our next broadcast is not going to be till next Tuesday, so we kind of got a week from now. The Lady Lynx will be in action on Tuesday night on their home floor. And then following, the guys will play Wednesday night. They will play on the 12th, I believe. And I think they're taking on Robert Morris, as the girls will play Lincoln Christian University. That is on December 11th in that ballgame on Tuesday. Again, that will be a 5:30 start time. Adam Hoffman and Nick Jackson will both be on the call with you there as well. And then the guys, they do not play until December 12th on Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the Jack D. Nutt Arena at 7. Again, against Robert Morris, a team we've already seen once. Thank you, sir. As that's going to do it all here for me. 83-74 is your final, as the Lynx made a statement here on the road, and we will see you guys next Tuesday night in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Vera, for board hopping for us. I'm Nick Jackson, and I'm signing off here from the Gibson Arena. Thank you once again for listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.